Hello and welcome. In this guide, we'll explore the internal shared configuration, or ISC, repository in Codefresh. Codefresh follows a GitOps-first approach, meaning all configuration is stored declaratively in Git. To enable this, we've created the concept of the ISC, a dedicated repository where multiple runtimes can share configuration files. Each Codefresh account has its own ISC, which is set up automatically when installing the first runtime. You can access the repository by clicking on the settings icon. On the organization information page, you'll find a link to the Git repository used by the ISC. Now, let's take a closer look at the repository structure. At the top level, the ISC contains two main folders: resources and runtimes. The runtimes folder stores application manifests that are used by the runtime. Now, let's dive into the resources folder. Inside, we have two subfolders that allow us to sync resources across different environments. One folder contains resources that are synced to all control planes, while the other syncs to all control planes and their managed clusters. This synchronization is managed through internal Argo CD applications assigned to each runtime, ensuring that configurations are automatically applied wherever needed. Additionally, there is the App Projects folder. This folder is responsible for managing which types of resources can be synced to the cluster. Next, let's explore the Configurations folder. This folder is used specifically for configuration runtimes, dedicated runtimes responsible for syncing shared configuration files from Git to the cluster. Typically, a Codefresh account needs only one configuration runtime with an optional fallback in case of failure. Common resources stored in configuration runtimes include product CRDs, promotion flows, promotion policies, and promotion templates. Now, let's look at how these resources are structured within each runtime. Inside the resources folder, each runtime has its own subfolder named after the runtime. Within this folder, you'll find manifests describing Git sources associated with the runtime, as well as a chart folder. This chart folder contains a chart YAML file and a values YAML file, which define the runtime's configuration. When updating the runtime version, simply modify the chart YAML file. Let's walk through an example of committing a resource to the runtime. For this example, we'll add a promotion flow. We start by navigating to the Codefresh Promotion Flows page and creating a new promotion flow. As with most Codefresh resources, the final step is to commit the changes. This new promotion flow will be committed to the ISC repository, specifically in the configurations/promotion flows folder. Now let's check the repository for the newly committed promotion flow. And there it is. Successfully committed. For security and best practices, we recommend keeping ISC access limited to account administrators to maintain control over shared configurations. That concludes our introduction to the internal shared configuration in Codefresh. Thank you for watching.